Let's complete our tipping calculator. First, let's clean up some of the mess that we've created, because I noticed that on line 10, I actually have double quotes when I should have turned that into single quotes. Whoops. And now that I'm done testing, I could also remove the console.logs on line 6 and line 20, actually just line 20. I don't think I see any more console.logs. The last thing I don't like is the multi-line comment that I have on 13 through 18. I'm going to remove that because we really should be writing fairly self-explanatory code. We could write a one-line comment to state that this is the last part that calculates the tip, but I shouldn't write line by line what my code is doing. If your code is written clearly enough, it should be easy to follow and understand. It doesn't hurt to write the overall intention though if it's not fairly obvious. We still have a couple of potential bugs to handle. First, let's start with the ability for someone to input 0 for either the total bill or the number of people. Because if someone types in 0, 0 is a number, so it'll go through, but when we do any division with 0, it's going to come up with some weird answer at the end. I didn't mention it in the last video, but we can have more than just two options in the conditional. We can add an else if statement in between the if and the else. So here's what I'm thinking. If someone types in 0 for total bill, line 3 isn't going to fire. It's going to go right into the else clause. But I want to try catching if someone types in 0. So what I can do is I'll move the else down, and I'm going to add an else if, and then I have to check to see if their answer is 0. So I really want to see if total bill equals 0. Now the problem with this code is that if we just use one equal sign, the equal sign is known as the assignment operator. So that's what we use to initialize or change the value of a variable. We can't use it to test for equality. So to do that, we need to use the equality operators, either double equal sign or triple equal sign. The double equal tries to coerce both sides to see if they match. So for example, if you had the string 3, that would equal the number 3 because the double equal will perform a conversion there. But with triple equals, they wouldn't match. A string 3 does not match a number 3. So the question is, should I use a double equals or a triple equals? And what I have to ask myself is, what is the type of total bill at this point? And total bill at this point is actually a string. So I really want to use a double equal sign with a 0. Or I can do a triple equal sign with the 0 in single quotes. Let me test this out to show you what I mean. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to comment out the else, and all I'm going to do is try to catch if the total bill equals 0 or not. So let me just alert total bill matched. Let me just try that. So if I type in 0 and the total bill equals the string 0, it's going to match, which it should. Let me test it out. How much is the total bill? I'm going to put in 0 and it says total bill matched. But if I remove the single quotes and try running it again, it shouldn't match, so nothing will happen. See? It didn't say that the total bill matched. Now, if I double equals, remember, double equals is not strict. So it'll try to coerce them to the same type. And when I run that and I type in 0, that should catch it. Now, personally, I like using the triple equals because I like to be very explicit about what I'm writing. So I'm going to put triple equals and then the string 0. Now, if that happens, if someone types in 0 for the total bill, I'm just going to say, congrats, you got a free meal. So I'm going to troll them a little bit. Otherwise, else, we're going to continue on in our program. So let me bring the else back. So now if I run my code and I type in 0 for the total bill, and I think I'm getting that error because remember I went back to single quotes on line 10 before. So now I have to make sure I escape out that single quote so that JavaScript ignores this first quote and only looks at the last one. Okay, so this backward slash is known as the escape character. It just causes JavaScript to ignore the next character. Okay, let me try running it again. And the total bill was 0. And it says, congrats, you got a free meal. And the program ends right there. Now, there is one more case that I still have to account for, and that is if someone types in 0 for the total number of people. Because remember, right now they can still type in a number, and then they could type in 0 for the number of people in attendance, and it says each person should contribute infinity, which is ridiculous. And that I'm going to catch down here. So if number of people is not a number, we can alert that they haven't entered a number. But I want to add an else if. I want to try to catch something in between. So else if the number of people equals the string 0. Because remember, a prompt saves the input as a string. So I'm checking to see if the number of people equals the string 0. And if it does, I'm going to alert the user, you can't have 0 people in your party. And notice that the colors are going all crazy, and that's because, once again, I have a single quote in can't that I want to escape out using the backslash. So there we go. I think now we should be catching every single possibility. So if someone types in a 0 at any point, let's say they type in 74, and then they type in 0 for number of people in attendance, it says you can't have 0 people in your party. And I think our program is good. I think we're done. In the next video, we're going to start making our coin flip simulator and learn about functions. So I'll see you in the next one.